Good morning, everyone. In this class, we are going to discuss about an important topics of urban geography, urban social area analysis. Okay, cities are not random; they are sorted. Okay, they are organized. Okay, this class explores the analytical tools used to decode the invisible patterns of class, family, and ethnicity that shape our urban environment. The invisible forces shaping urban space. There are some different kind of forces which shape the different urban space. Okay. Definition of urban social area analysis. USAA, that is means urban social analysis, is the quantitative study of socio-economic patterns used to identify socially differentiated zones. It acts as a bridge between social theory and spatial reality. Okay, the forces are sociology, who lives there, then geography, where do they live, and statistics, how do we measure it. Okay, there are some core questions: who lives where, why are some areas rich and others are poor, how do social inequalities manifest physically. Urban social area analysis moves beyond observation to examine how income, caste, ethnicity, and occupation create distinct social regions within a metropolis. Okay. Now, roots and origins from ecology to rigor. According to the Chicago School, Chicago School perspective, early urban sociology focused on the social ecology of cities. That means organic growth of patterns similar to biological systems. The pivot, according to Shevky and Bell, 1955, Shevky and Bell, 1955. The discipline shifted with the publication of social area analysis by Ashraf, Shevky, and Wendell Bell. They moved the field toward a quantitative model, proposing that urban patterns are shaped by measurable dimensions rather than just organic growth. Shevky and Bell's 1955 framework remains the foundational bedrock for understanding modern urban social geography. Okay, this is essential for exam. Remember Shevky and Bell as the primary contributors of this social area analysis, urban social area analysis. Now, the tripartite model of urban structure: social rank, urbanization, and segregation. Social rank, economic status, this is not neat. Urbanization, family status, segregation, ethnic status. Shevky and Bell proposed these three dimensions as the primary filters that sort a city's population. To understand a neighborhood, you must measure it through the three specific lenses: class, family cycle, and identity. Dimension: social rank. Okay, dimension 1, social rank, economic status. Definition reflects the class hierarchy embedded in the city. It determines who can afford to live in the core and who is pushed to the margins or peripheral areas. Key indicators: income level of the population, occupation structure, educational qualification, housing quality. Okay, low rank, peripheral slum, marginal lands, low rank, peripheral slums and marginal lands, and elite centers, plain colonies, high rank. Social ranking is the strongest predictor of housing quality and location desirability within the urban fabric. Dimension 2, urbanization, family status. Reflects lifestyle choices and the stage of urban adaptation. It differentiates between the migrant single and the established family. Migrant single and established family. Key indicators: nuclear versus joint families, nuclear versus large families, female workforce participation, and fertility rates, and migrant density. Okay, established residents, families, and newly urbanized, that is migrants and or singles. In this context, urbanization refers specifically to family life cycle stages and how household structures adapt to city life. Okay, dimension 3, segregation, ethnic status. Captures social separation based on shared identity. This dimension creates pockets of homogeneity within a diverse city. Key indicators are religion, caste, ethnicity, and language. Segregation manifests in two forms: voluntary, that is cultural preservation of allied gated communities, and involuntary, okay, discrimination or exclusion. Involuntary means they are compelled to do migration or compelled to do segregated. Okay, now the methodology transforming data into geography, data collection, harvesting census data, then variable selection, choosing socio-economic indicators, then statistical analysis, factor analysis, and cluster analysis. Spatial visualization, mapping zones using GIS. The power of USAA, that means Urban Social Area Analysis, lies in its combination of heavy statistical tools, factor analysis with spatial outputs, GIS mapping. Global patterns of urban structure, the standard Western model. In many global contexts, specifically the West USAA reveals a predictable structure, that is CBD, commercial dominance at the center, zoning distinct rings of elite residential zones, middle class colonies, and industrial worker zones. Global example, Chicago, historic patterns of racial segregation. Europe, migrant ghettos often located on the periphery. Latin America, the rise of fortified gated communities. The CBD, then transition zone, working class zone, residential. This is concentric zone model. While useful, the classic model often reflects North American cities and requires adaptation when applied to the global south. Adapting the model to the Indian reality. For example, Delhi. Stark contrast between the Lutyens zone and that is elite and planned and versus unauthorized colonies, that is slum area, and slums along the Yamuna floodplains. Then Mumbai, proximity of extreme wealth, South Mumbai to high density informal settlements, Dharavi. Indian cities are defined by the coexistence of formal and informal housing, often side by side. In India, slums and elite zones often exist side by side, defying simple concentric or sectoral models found in the West. Regional focus, spatial dynamics in Guwahati, topography as density. Guwahati represents a study in rapid transition where ecology dictates social stratification. Elite zones, areas like GS Road and Beltola, represents the middle upper class commercial and residential access. Then marginalized zones, informal settlements cluster on hill slopes and wetlands, areas that are ecologically vulnerable and politically continuous. Guwahati illustrates how topography, hill and wetlands dictate social stratification in cities with complex terrain. Critical limitations of the model. Over quantitative, heavily depend on statistics, potentially missing human nuance and lived experience. Then Western bias, originally based on American cities, struggles with the complexity of the global south. Then static problem, captures snapshots in time, failing to reflect rapid urban change or migration flows. Then power blindness, historically ignored the rules of capitalism and state power in shaping space. Modern geographers argue the model must be paired with an understanding of political economy to be truly effective. Contemporary extensions and future directions, technological, advanced GIS-based socio-spatial analysis allowing for real-time data integration, theoretical, feminist urban geography, gender spaces and urban political ecology, environmental inequality, critical urban theory, analyzing informal urbanism through a lens of power, rights and citizenship. Today's analysis focuses not just on where people live, but on justice, gender, and ecology within those spaces. Why this matters? Applications in planning, urban planning like slum redevelopment, housing policies, and infrastructure allocation. Then social justice, for example, mapping inequality and studying urban poverty. Smart cities, ensuring inclusive zoning and targeted welfare. Disaster management, identifying vulnerable populations, example, flood-prone informal settlements. Okay. This is the revision checklist for UGC NET exams, UGC NET perspective. Definition, quantitative study of social zones, theorist Shevky and Bill in 1955. 3 dimensions, social rank, urbanization and segregation. Context, application to Indian cities, caste, slums and migration. Urban social area analysis explains how social inequalities transform into spatial inequalities. Okay, the ultimate goal of this analysis is to move from understanding segregation to designing for inclusion. Okay, that's all for today. If you have any doubt and query, just let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Thank you.